downloaded. I'm going to let myself in on my computer.
Okay, we're recording. So hello, everybody who's just joining us. I'm just going to allow Tammy to be the host. 1 second here. And then I can focus on what I'm doing and you can let people in. Make host. Yes. Tammy is now the host.
Okay. And it still shows both of you recording.
You know what? It's kind of funny because my big sister, you get to boss me around all the time still now. And I always give you the control when we're doing this live. I just think it's funny. Okay, so Amanda, if you can take yourself off mute for a second. Oh, that song ever loud in my head every time I come to you, every time I'm even thinking of you.
Hi.
Do you know that song, This Little Light of Mine, I'm Gonna Let It Shine? You know that song?
Yeah.
The mother figure that's above you, I don't think it's your mom. I think it's your grandma. I don't remember who all your loved ones are because I read for so many people, but I think it's your grandma. Did she used to sing this to you? Do you know why I'm picking that up?
I was just listening to music recently that reminded me of her, and those were one of the songs.
Did you see my Instagram yesterday? Last night?
No, I didn't.
So you heard what I was saying to my sister before we started recording, right? I lit a tea light candle yesterday for my noon reading. And then at 10 p.m. last night, it was still going. And I had to blow it out. That's 10 hours of a tea light, literally a tea light. And the entire day I had that song, This Little Light of Mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And that was going really loud in my head. And then when we sat down here, it got even louder again as soon as I saw your name on there. And the other song that's coming up is, and this came up right before we went live actually, was the song The Rose. You know the song The Rose?
No.
Now the tune is gone out of my head. Someone saying, you guys know The Rose. What? Who's gonna sing it?
I'm not singing, but I know the word.
Okay, say the word. I thought you said you knew the word.
Oh, I muted and then.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
What are the words? For whatever
Some
reason.
say love, it is a river.
There we go. That's exactly it. Some say love, it is a river that drowns. I can't sing, so please keep that in mind.
Exactly.
Weird, right? Something like that. I've been hearing both of them. Okay. So now that we got that awkward weirdness out of the way, let's jump in and see what she has to say. Is this your grandma that usually comes in for you, Amanda?
Yes, it is.
Isn't that funny? She's being just so entertaining today. All right, let's do this. Both feet flat on the floor for me.
Okay.
All right, so what I want you to do is close your eyes. And then what I want you to do is when I'm done talking, I want you to take a deep breath. Picturing that deep breath, starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it directly towards me and give me a minute to focus.
Okay.
I heard drums too. Amanda, do you have a connection with the native culture?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Because as soon as we did that, I could start to hear the boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, usually I see feathers, but this time I'm hearing the drums and they're just in the background. And so I asked your grandmother, who's very front and center, let me tell you. And I'm like, well, what is with the drums? And she said, that's in the background because she has to remember that you have an enormous amount of ancestors on the other side that are trying to help you right now. I'm not sure what's going on, but you are surrounded. I got to say you both because Pearl is your sister as well, correct?
Yes.
So I'm getting like, she's acknowledging both of you now. And now because I know you guys are sisters, it makes sense in my head. I remember before I was like, she's talking about your sister now. And I didn't know why. And now I know because you guys are sisters. Okay, so hold on. She's getting very excited about, or not getting very excited. She's maintaining a high vibration around the fact that it feels like you're starting to develop a new normal, if that makes sense. There's something about being stuck in the house for a long time. Well, we've all been stuck in the house for a long time. And then finally being able to take baby steps to go out. But there's a feeling of feeling a little bit more secure, a little bit more confident, like a breath of fresh air. It's interesting because remember I was live on Saturday and I didn't quite get to you because you kept saying next week, next week, next week. Was there some type of decision that came out this week? Because I'm feeling like something is like, I feel like relief. We can breathe now. It's okay. Like something's been paused. Maybe not finalized, but paused. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I feel like there was a lot going on for a little while. When I sat in on Saturday, I was up north and we were up there to can some fish but nothing happened the way it was supposed to, and it was I don't know, nothing worked out the way we wanted it to, and there was just a lot going on, I think.
You know, I think I got chills as you're saying that. And the reason is because I'm hearing that song in my head, This Little Light of Mine, I'm gonna let it shine. So this is your partner that you went up with, right?
Yes.
And this is like your wife, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that's what you mean that it just did not go the way it was supposed to go, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is because, see, it's hard to explain the energy. Let me try to explain the energy that I can feel around that. It's almost like you're trying to let your inner light shine. But when you two are together, there's a feeling of not being able to let your light shine, not being able to let yourself be as happy and free and something that you needed to be. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
It's very interesting because I can feel the love that the two of you have for each other, but it's almost like it's unconditional love that is conditional when you guys are together, because it's like you can't do this, and this when she's around because you know that'll irk her, and she can't do this, and this when you're around because she knows that'll irk you. So it's like you're both feeling kind of restricted when you're together. It's not that she's done anything to harm you or you've done anything to harm her. It's just that it's about letting your inner light shine and being who you really are. Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
And so what you're thinking that week that nothing went right, you have to understand that is what went right, is the fact that you need to get that message that some things are better separate than they are together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Part of your life is about letting your inner light shine and letting yourself be who you really are and not feeling like you have to be somebody that you're not or be somebody that somebody else expects you to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the whole point of that, because I feel like that trip was a let's see what happens kind of trip, right?
Yeah, it was.
And here's the thing, if it had worked out for you and you got back together when eventually you know that that's just not going to work because you guys get this claustrophobic feeling of I can't be who I really need to be after we're together for a while, then that would have been devastating, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it better that it didn't work out now so that you can get that? It's like, okay, we can't do this together. We can do it separately and be great friends, but we can't do this together.
Yeah.
That was the whole point. And that's why your grandma is singing This Little Light of Mine, I'm gonna let it shine. She wants you to let it shine. And that explains to me why she's singing The Rose too. I want you to go look at or listen to that song when we're done. It's about different types of love and how sometimes love has thorns, you know?
Okay.
But this is an important step for you to be able to identify that just because this relationship isn't going the direction that you wanted it to go, that does not mean that there is not a relationship on the path that you are going. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
She loves you so much, and that's what she needed. She said she couldn't say that when we were talking on Saturday because you guys were together. right? Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
That does, because it was funny because she was sitting beside me the whole time, and I
See?
told her, I said, "Do you want to sit in on this?" I was like, "I really love to hear the readings," and I was like, "Do you want to sit in?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'll sit in."
See, and it's not that your grandma doesn't like her, anything like that. It's just one of those situations where we can't spend too much time together because we will irritate the crap out of each other.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, no.
And then she's thanking Pearl because Pearl is your sister, right? I'm seeing the phone, so I know that you guys do a lot of communicating.
Yeah.
And in fact, she's like, I reminded you to tell her to get her butt on here. Did you phone her and say, hey, get on live?
I just messaged her just as I joined the thing, and I said, "Hey, are you coming on?"
See, your grandma said, thank you for reminding your sister to be here. And she's thanking your sister for helping you because I feel like, so Pearl, if you could take your mute button off for a second. Have you been telling your sister this for a while? You two are better apart, not together.
No, I kind of let it, I don't know. I let my sister kind of decide what she wants to do, but I just support her in her decisions that she makes.
Well, I'll tell you what they're showing me in my head, which is why I'm asking that question, is your grandmother is showing me my symbol for gratitude and pride at the same time for the way that you've been supporting her. So she's making me feel like when I said that you guys are better apart than together, then she turns to you and is like, thank you for how you are helping her with that. So that's why I assumed did you already tell her this? Because she's thanking you. But if you're just trying to be there as a really good support during this time, do not underestimate how much that means.
Yeah.
She's really proud of you guys for getting closer. Okay, so Pearl, when I come to you, I can feel some stress around you. I have to tell you that. Oh boy, there's a different energy there. It just feels like I'm trying to take a picture in a moving car. You know how when you're in a moving car and you try to take a picture, it comes out all blurry? There's
Yeah.
a bunch of change going on around you to the point that when I'm trying to zoom in on it, it kind of blurs. So that tells me that everything feels like it's changing right now. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Are you moving as well?
No, I've been thinking about it though.
Because your grandma just showed me the for sale sign going on the front lawn, which simply just means moving or renovations, but it doesn't feel like renovations. It feels more like literally moving. And it feels like one of those situations where if you've been getting that thought for a while now, I should move, I should move, I should move. I think that's your grandma trying to help you take yourself out of that vibration you are in now and put you in a new place where you can think clear, where you can be stress-free, where you can have that clarity. Because it feels like wherever you are right now is making it really hard to think clearly. You understand that?
Yeah, I do.
Because she said, listen, just stop focusing on what the restrictions are. It feels like one of those situations where you know you need to move, but you're very aware that the houses are expensive. You're very aware that it might be hard to find one. You're very aware of all these restrictions, right? And as long
Yeah.
as you are aware of those, then that's what you will get is the restrictions. It doesn't matter what kind of restrictions are around you. God will make a way, let me tell you. This last weekend, my son, actually it was last Friday, he was opening up his first bank account. And I think I might have told this on the last one, but this is a very good example of exactly what I'm talking about. And I know very well that if you're going to open up a bank account, you kind of have to phone the bank ahead of time and make an appointment, right? But
Yeah.
I was like, well, whatever, we're just going to go there and we'll see what happens. You know, who knows? You never know. They might have somebody free. And if not, we'll just make an appointment. No big deal. Talk to my angels, put it out there. Sure enough, we get to the bank and the teller's like, oh, we don't do that. You have to make an appointment. But wait a minute, there's the lady. You might be your lucky day. And sure enough, the lady got him in right then and we did the bank account right then. That's not supposed to happen. And if I had
Yeah.
making my choices and decisions based on the restrictions that I knew were there, that never would have happened because I wouldn't have gone. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I think it's kind of funny that you bring up the for sale sign and moving, because I've been thinking lately that I was wanting to try buy a house, but I don't allow myself to right now because I really want to go back to school and move to a different city and not get a house in my hometown. But
So
yeah, I've
look
been thinking
towards
about it.
getting a house in the city you want to live in. Because let me tell you, she's telling you it's time. She's showing me that house with the for sale sign, and she's telling you to change the way you're thinking about it and make it possible. Even when you're telling me that story, what you just said, those few words that you said, instead of saying, well, I've been holding off on buying a house here because it's just a matter of time before I get to this new city and I'm going to buy one there and it's so cool, I can't wait. Instead of being all pumped up about it, you're like, well, I haven't even been looking because I can't buy one here and I'm not in school yet. And you got all these restrictions. That's exactly what she's talking about. She said, get excited about where you're going. And she's helping you on that side. She's like kind of help, like Amanda, you have the 2 kids, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, because she's like kind of like she's helping Amanda with the kid thing. She's helping you too. And not just that, then I hear those drums in the background again because she never lets anybody else come forward for you guys. She does all the talking. Um, but I can feel them back there. You have an enormous family that is wanting to help and to guide you in this and be your wisdom, your inner wisdom. Um, it's interesting because the one thing I love about the native culture, and I'm very ignorant about a lot of things in it, which just means that I don't have a lot of experience or knowledge on a lot of it. But what I can tell you is what I feel from that culture, which is it's like feeling ingrained nostalgia, if you can understand what I mean by that. It kind of feels like if you could imagine how it would feel if you had a house that was in your family for 500 generations. When you walk in that house, you would feel the ingrained nostalgia of that times past. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel that kind of ingrained nostalgia from your ancestors who are extraordinarily invested in every single member of their family, especially right now, because there's been a lot of things uncovered and revealed recently, um, things that have taken place, unfortunately, in the past. And the one thing that I've understood about it from doing many of these readings now that they keep telling me is that, yes, we got a lot of work to do as far as exposing the corruption from the past. But now that it's been exposed, we have a chance to heal. And a lot of families, and I can feel the ripple from yours as well, somewhere up there in the line, were affected by those residential schools and all of that came with it. And hurt people, right? So this has been throughout the community. And what I know is going on right now in the universe is that with all those souls released and the truth finally being acknowledged, the healing is being brought in at a faster pace than it's ever been brought in before. So that means when you go on a camping trip with your wife just to see if it's going to work one more time, and it absolutely does not work whatsoever, that's because that's God's gift of telling you now, so you don't waste no more time. It's about bringing the healing in now, not later. Does that make sense?
yes, that makes sense.
So look at the situation a little differently. Instead of, it's like if you walk in your kitchen and you see, do you like pie?
Yeah.
What's your favorite pie?
Cherry.
Okay, there's a second person to answer it with cherry. When I've asked that question, it's like walking into your kitchen and seeing a full cherry pie on your counter with 2 pieces missing. You're gonna either walk in that kitchen and be like, "Oh my God, there's almost a whole pie, right? Oh, all for me," and you're gonna get really excited and be really grateful. Or you're gonna walk in your kitchen and go, "I'm not eating that. There's 2 pieces missing. What the heck? Who took my pieces?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yours on how you perceive that situation. I'll tell you this. I feel like you guys are both in a really good place of acknowledging where you are so that you can change it, so that you can move to a new place, to one of happiness and joy, which is what you've been wanting for a while. It's about making your choices and decisions based on where you want to go and based on faith that your loved ones are going to be there to catch you and guide you on that path, and not making any more choices based on fear, based on restriction, which is what you've been doing for a while. Just know that
Okay.
they'll be there to catch you and help you and guide you guys along the way. Does that make
Okay. That makes sense.
She likes your hair then, by the way. She just said, and tell her you like what she did with her hair. So I don't know if you just styled it different today or you got it cut or what the heck, but she just said,
I got extensions put in my hair.
stop. When?
I got it last week.
Well, you can't make this up. She knows and she thinks you look beautiful.
Thank you.
Just wants you to feel beautiful and excited. And the both of you, Amanda, you too. Please don't think about the loss right now, because what this is doing is clearing the way so that you can welcome in the person in your life that truly belongs there, the one that can make you the happiest in a relationship. And just keep remembering to pray and talk to them, because they're going to help you every step along the way. And then she just handed you a basket of wildflowers. Amanda, did you guys pick some wildflowers or something when you were out there? I don't know what this is. Daisies, maybe? I don't know. Just wildflowers.
No, I was just admiring my dead flowers came back to life, and I was just I was admiring them because I was worried about them when we were away for the weekend, and I was like, no, my flowers, and they were like dead, like shriveled, and they came back to life, and I'm really super happy about them every single day.
That's your grandma. And that's why she's bringing them up. It's because she's saying, listen, you don't have to worry about this kind of stuff. They should have been dead, but they're not, because I'm still here. I'm not dead. I'm still here. My soul is still here, and I'm still helping you. I'm utilizing synchronicity and cooperative incidences, which not all of them you can see, to help you in your journey. So if she can bring dead flowers back to life, she can bring you the love of your life. Right?
I love that.
Oh, I hope that was helpful, you guys. And look
It
at that.
was.
I did 2 for 1. Woohoo!
Thank you, Tracy.
You're very welcome. Okay, Steph, I'm coming to you. Woo-hoo. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm all right. You look really good.
You
Did
are?
you straighten your hair?
I always straighten my hair.
It looks like shinier.
You know what? It's the collagen that I've been taking.
Yeah.
It's making everything come back, and my pain is going away. My fibromyalgia is disappearing completely. Who knew that a really good collagen can take away the autoimmune diseases? A lot of them are collagen deficiency.
Yeah, I actually am big on collagen too, as well. Pretty big.
Well, I started taking it for the hair and nails and stuff, because when I hit menopause, all my hair started falling out. But what I was not expecting was the fibromyalgia joint pain to completely disappear. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, let's talk about you, not me. Yeah, you have a couple of people showing up today. All right, ready to do this?
Yes.
Both feet flat on the floor. I want you to close your eyes, and then I want you to take a deep breath, picturing that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it directly towards me, and give me a minute to focus. So I'll tell you right away. So right away, both your grandparents are on the other side then, correct? I know it's usually your grandma that steps forward, but this time, as soon as I started connecting to you, I felt both of them stepping forward.
Yeah.
Then what I felt was the relief of getting back from my vacation. So I think what she's making me feel, because I know you went on a little trip there too, but just before I did, what I felt was the enormous relief. Sometimes getting back from our vacation is better than leaving for our vacation, right? And I could feel that relief coming back in. I can see the workouts going, and she's showing me how proud she is of you. Have you picked up pace of those? Like, I feel like we're getting them going, like ramped
I
up.
actually just started yesterday back at the gym, and
That's what I'm saying. It's like I feel it like ramped up all of a sudden. So you're not just at home now.
no,
You're at the gym. I can feel that energy. And
I stepped on the scale when I got home from holidays and thought, oh, yo, no.
That's what I did. I
Yeah.
drove all the way to Ontario though, right? So when you're driving for 3 or 4 days, you're eating like candies in the car and doing anything to keep yourself awake.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I've already lost 7 pounds since I got home.
Good.
So
Good.
it's only been a week. Interesting. Yeah, that's exactly what I can feel around you. As soon as we tie in, your grandma's like, she's so proud of you. You jumped right back in. You got right back to it. We revamped it up. I can feel like just everything, kids getting ready for school. I can see the shopping trips. And then she goes, now that's a headache.
Yeah.
Oh, what does this mean? Hold on. We're in Alberta. We don't have the diapers. So this is going to be a great year to go back to school. You know what I mean by that, right?
Not really.
The diapers.
Oh, yes. I was like, what's she talking about, diapers? Yeah.
All
Yeah.
the confusion on your face. I'm like, you don't know what I mean. This is what I
I
call
was just slow on the pickup there. I don't know how I didn't get that, but
we don't have to wear them anymore.
yeah, exactly.
So our kids are actually going to be able to go back this year. Your grandma told you to remember that, because I can feel the anxiety almost the same as you had it last year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you just need to remember this year, it's going back differently. This year, we're going a little bit more back to normal. You still have to be hyper vigilant about what they're teaching,
Right.
but at least our kids will be able to go and be safe and not be traumatized all day.
Right. Exactly.
I'm seeing earrings or nose rings or something like this. Did one of your kids just get something pierced?
Mm-mm.
I'm seeing a piercing, Steph.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I
I need to check their bodies because the girls were home while we were gone. They might have got one without me even knowing.
I'm telling you, your grandma did this and I saw the piercing. I don't know. It feels like somewhere it shouldn't be though, because I don't see it on the ears. I don't know if it's tongue or belly or something. That's why I'm like, is it a nose? I don't know what this is. But I'm seeing, if they didn't do this, then I think somebody wants one, because she's talking about the piercing, and that's very specific. When have you ever heard me talk about piercings before?
Yeah, never. I'll take a look at that. That wouldn't surprise me.
Oh goodness. I can just feel the excitement for like September to come back and the kids to be gone and you to have your house back and your husband at work. And then she's like, but well, that's weird. Okay, slow that down. We won't be able to enjoy it for as long as we want because then it's chaos. You're moving before Christmas?
We're moving. Well, we sold our house and we have to be out on the 27th of this month. We put an offer in on the house yesterday and we would be moving on the 17th of September. So
that's what I'm seeing. Like, that's what she just said. Somewhere she's like, school, we're all excited to get back and everybody clean out of my house and get going. And then she's like, yeah, but then you got to move in there too. And I feel like that's coming around the end of September. That's so funny. So she said, don't sweat it. It's going to go easier than you think it is, because I feel like everybody is excited to move. Everybody. It's almost like when you guys first announced that you were going to be moving, some of the kids were not happy about it. But then after time went on, they're like, yes, let's just do it. Let's just do it.
Yeah. Well, they'll have more of their own space.
And I think they love this new house. Hey.
Well, yeah, they like it, and it's great. Like, it's 2 doors down from my sister, and it's a few doors down from their best buddy, and it's like
it's perfect. Yeah. I got goosebumps as you're talking about that, because remember, for months you've been like, I don't know where we're gonna move. Where's this house? Where it's coming? And I remember your grandma kept saying it's already done. Like, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
And when you went away and went on vacation and stopped focusing on it, bam, just took care of itself.
Yeah. Well, I said the house is going to sell while we're on vacation because my grandmother told me so. And it is going to be crazy fast. Like, everything's going to happen crazy fast. I said, Tracy told me, grandmother told her, and then all of a sudden the house sells, and then it all happens, and Eric's like, her grandmother told her this was gonna happen.
I literally have hair sticking up all over the place. Oh, honey, she's so excited for you. And that's why she brought your grandfather, because she said, I got him to make sure if there's any like things that have to get done, he's on it.
Yeah. Well, it's a stressful move. Like, myself and Eric too are like stressed to the max. He's like all over the place because it's packing up a house in a couple weeks, putting it in a storage unit to move it back out after. And it's just like, yeah, it's stressful.
So remember to focus on what you need and ask for help with what you need, right?
Yeah.
So every day when you get up, if you know, for example, I'm cleaning out the storage room today. When you get up, the first thing you do before you touch your phone, before you touch your TV, before you go and get a coffee, sit there, close your eyes, and thank God for helping you with the storage room. Thank God, visualize it cleaning itself out. Thank God for it being easier than you thought it would, and for it just flowing much easier than you could have ever expected. And watch how quickly that changes. You'll get incidences like the bank with me and my son. It shouldn't work for you, but it does because you have help.
Right, exactly.
The Catholic lady at the bank freaked her right out.
I bet.
Because you can tell when it's spirit. There is coincidences and synchronicities all around it. So when we got there for that appointment, my son's name is Benjamin Joseph. She's like, oh, wow, we have a Benjamin Joseph that works here. And then my name is Tracy Lynn. And she's like, that's weird. My sister-in-law's name is Tracy Lynn. And then there was all these synchronicities and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's spirit. And she's like, well, we don't believe in that as Catholics. We believe in prophecy. And I'm like, well, your grandparents are right there. And your grandma said that she's really happy to be reunited with your grandpa because they were like separated for a while. And she's like, I don't know what to do with that right now. I don't know what to do with that right now. She like freaked out. But yeah, they're really proud of you. They just said breathe and remember that you are not alone in this. And that if you need help, they will send you help. Just yesterday, my sister's friend messages me and she's like said something about she needs some volunteer hours or something. I don't know if she's going to school or something, and she really likes organizing. So my center, I don't know if you heard me. Did you see last? Oh, you weren't here last week.
No, I was flying. I was so upset. I was in the plane coming home, and I was like, oh.
Well, Steph, guess what? My center is going to be up by the end of this month, and guess where it is? Guess where it is? My house. I didn't even realize that. It's been under my freaking nose the entire time. I don't have to go somewhere else for it. I have an entire basement. I moved in February. My entire basement is one big open area. I can fit 30 people down there.
Well, that's awesome.
Build it in my own house, use my upstairs for refreshments and stuff like that. So I've got all my groups starting up again at the end of the month. And open mic night that I've been talking about for a while.
Yes, sir. That's awesome.
So exciting, right?
Good.
And this is what I'm saying. When you don't freak out about something and you just ask for help and you let sometimes, like, you know how many obstacles have been in my way around this center, right? And now that I am where I am now, and I know that the center is going to be in my house, do you know how grateful I am for those sleepless nights and those obstacles that I had like a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago? I'm thanking God every day that he didn't let that happen. Exactly. This is so much better.
Well, yeah, it's like right in your home. You don't even have to go anywhere.
Right?
Yeah.
Perfect. And that's just so, I'm telling you that story, the synchronicity around that story, because that's what's going on in your world right now. That everything is just synchronizing the way it's supposed to be. I was explaining it to someone this morning that it's kind of like fog, right? When you're from a distance, it looks like it's thick and you can't see through it at all. But when you get up close, you're starting to see, you're able to see what's right in front of you and get to that next step in front of you. And before you know it, you're through the fog and it's not as dense and thick as you thought it was.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the baby, is she like 3 now? 3 or 4 now?
She'll be 3 in December.
That's what I thought. Is she going into some kind of like preschool or play school or something like this?
Well, we're thinking about putting her in January in like pre-K3, so for 3-year-olds. but she won't be free till December, so we can't put her in till January. But we need a potty trainer, so
Your grandma she's like, she'll be easy to potty train. She'll be do you want to know the easiest? Well, you have a lot of kids. I'm sure you know how to do this, but my 4 kids, the easiest one to potty train was the last one when I figured it out. So when they're at that age that they can understand how to pull their pants down. They can understand how to, well, not even pull their pants down, just tell you, I got pee, right?
yeah.
What I did, and I'm telling you, one day, this kid was trained, one day, is I took him to the dollar store and I let him fill up a bucket with all those party stuff. Like, you can get like packs of 4 bubbles and like a bunch of balls and cars and stickers and whatever. And we put it all in the bucket. And then we put the bucket on the top shelf at the bathroom. And when he would go pee, he would get to pick one thing out of the bucket. And when he put poop in the potty, he got to pick 2 things out of the bucket.
Oh, I like that.
And in one day, he was done. And by the time that bucket was empty, he didn't even care anymore. He was so bored with those toys in there. And it was just ingrained in him now.
I'm doing that.
I would try it. Get them engaged in it. And just say, this is your potty bucket. What are we putting in here? And when you take her home, she's like, I want it, I want it, I want it. And you're like, well, when you put pee-pee in here, you get to pick one. And I'm telling you, they love it.
I'm going to do that. The last 2 for potty training were horrible. Like even Kate and my like almost 7-year-old, even now, still till this day, he's like calling me in to wipe his butt sometimes because he's so messy, and it's just like, you're 7, come on.
It's where you get some wet wipes and you throw them in there.
Yep, he has them, but he's grossed out by poop. I don't know, it's weird.
Don't worry, they grow out of it by like 8 or 9. You only got another year or so of that, because then he's going to be like, I don't want you seeing my butt. Get out, mom.
Yeah.
Thank
heavens, because I'm over it.
Try this with your little one. I promise you it'll work incredibly well. And slow it down. And don't worry about the school, because she says that it's going to be just fine, that she's helping with it from that side. And I think that's why she sent you that little potty training trick, because she doesn't want you to even worry about that. She's like, listen, this is going to be smoother transition than you can even imagine. Just, it's kind of like the theme today is, don't focus on what you don't want. Ask for what you do and get excited for it to be easier than you expected.
Yeah, that's funny that she brings up school, because there's so much going on around school. Like our one son's moving from one school to another school. The littlest guy, we're debating whether we're keeping him in the school he's in now or moving him to a completely French school. And then our oldest is starting university. Like there's so much around school right now that it's like, ah.
That's why she's wanting to help with it. The one who's starting university, did she wait till this year? Like, was she supposed to start last year but didn't, and then she waited till this year for the COVID thing to be kind of on the other side of it?
Yeah.
Because your grandma said, good job, girl. That's my smart cookie. She's proud of her. And I can feel, you know what? The beautiful thing is that she's starting with a motivation to go to school now that maybe she wouldn't have had COVID not happened. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many amazing things. So what looks like challenges is actually benefits in disguise, blessings in disguise.
Right.
So I know that this is all happening really fast with the move, but this is why she said she told you that beforehand, that it was all going to happen really fast. That way you could breathe and know that this is good. It's going to happen exactly the way it's supposed to, even though it's happening fast. She's like, and she wants you to realize right now that it will be easier than you expect. It should be easier than you expect, unless you keep expecting it to be rough.
Right.
She's putting flowers on your table. Is there a reason why you would put flowers on your table? I feel it's more of a do it kind of feeling, like you need to have, because you've been surrounded in stress and change and obligation, and I can feel that tension. And she's like, come on, just bring in some flowers and make it look pretty. Like you're not moving for a few more weeks. They'll be dead by then. You can have pretty stuff around you, and having that scent of flowers and the beauty of flowers around you when everything else is being packed up and looking like crazy. Do you know what I mean? You can see the chaos all around you and see those flowers on the kitchen table, and that's a reminder that she's there with you and everything is okay.
Right.
She said, tell your husband that she's proud of him as well, because I think it's funny when you were talking about the fact that it sold when you were on vacation and she told you it was going to, and that she's like, finally, he's getting it.
Right.
Finally, he's starting to believe.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
He is. Yeah. He was like, so like, he thinks I'm crazy half the time, but I think like after so many coincidences, like that you can't explain, like he's like, that's not even possible. Like he even said to his mom, her grandmother told her this was going to happen. And his mom was like, what?
Sure, grandma's dead. What do you mean?
Yeah. He's like, yeah,
And
crazy.
you know, your grandma loves that. She's like really proud of him. She's like, you know, he's learning to open his mind and see beyond the physical. And that means that once you start connecting with the non-physical, you can do anything in this world. Anything.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, be happy. You know that song, Three Little Birds by Bob Marley? Play
Mhm.
that really loud, put some flowers on your table, and have that barbecue. Were you guys thinking of doing the barbecue, or have you been doing a lot of barbecuing? Because she said, have that barbecue. I heard that loud and clear.
No, but it's super weird because I kept saying to Eric, like, what are we going to do? I have to pack up all of our stuff. Like, we got to live in this house without our stuff. Like, the kitchen's got to go, whatever. Like, how are we going to cook? And the barbecue.
That's
Have a
exactly.
flipping barbecue. Like,
have a
use the
barbecue.
barbecue. Yeah.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
Use the barbecue, put the flowers there so you don't feel
Yeah.
chaos and you feel beauty still, and relax.
Yeah.
Remember, you're not alone on this. And they're going to help bring situations into your world that will make it easier on you, not tougher. Your kids are going to go back to school with a new appreciation for school. Your little one is going to be able to start pre-K, and you're going to have some space to yourself. And she's
Yeah.
going to be potty trained in like less than a week, guaranteed. If you do
That's
it the
gonna
way
be
that I
awesome.
told you, and you take her to the dollar store and you explain what you're doing the whole time,
Mhm.
let her choose those toys. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be easier because when at the new house she can roam free and actually go to the bathroom. Here she can't. Like it's not even anywhere near close to where she's at. So this
Awesome.
way she'll just
So
be
yeah,
able to
don't
walk.
even try until you get to the new house, because
Yeah.
if you try to implement something like that now and then you in bring in a big change like that,
Yeah.
it will throw her off, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll wait.
But you're
I
a
have
good
another
mom.
quick question though.
Yeah.
So my daughter, while we were gone, called me. It's weird because it's a weird coincidence. That's why I'm asking. So I had a dream that she was pregnant.
Mhm.
And then the next day, she called me on Skype with her 3 sisters to tell me that she had to take a pregnancy test because her boobs were hurting. But I had dreamt it the night before, around the same time she took the test. It was negative, but it was still too early to test. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. So now I'm freaking out just because why would I dream that and then have, I don't know. I'm like,
Well, the reason why you're dreaming it is because you're starting to become aware of your senses and how to use them, right?
yeah.
And your grandmother and your loved ones on that side are getting very loud. So you're able to understand them now. Like I said, they're always giving us this information, always. It's just whether or not we can pick up on it and understand what we're
Right.
receiving. Your gifts are waking up. I've been telling you for a while, you're
Yeah.
an empath and you have gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And they needed to prepare you a little bit for that situation so you didn't like explode
Freak out.
when that happened, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel it as more of a warning. Like I said, I think that's why she's showing me the piercing as well, is
Mm-hmm.
because I think what she's saying is that when I say she, I mean your grandma. What I think what she's saying is that there is some things going on that you're not seeing,
Right.
that she's not being honest with you about, that she's not telling you about. And I think that's why grandma did this in the very beginning. I feel like it's more of a warning so that you and her can have a chat, to be honest.
Right.
Because if that never happened, if she didn't experience that scare, then she would have continued to do what she was doing without talking to you. And that's dangerous. So
Yeah.
sometimes we'll get a scare to produce a new reaction to bring you on
Right.
board. I honestly don't think she is, but she could.
No, I don't think she is either.
I don't
And I
think-
really thought that it was like, okay, because we had switched her from the needle to the patch, and she's not responsible enough for that. And I think like you just said, I think it was more of like, you need to figure that out because
Yeah.
because she's like, it was ripping up and I took it off and I put another one on, and she's like so flaky. She can't even get to school on time. So I'm like, this is just telling you like, this is not going to work. You need
Yeah.
to figure out something out.
Yeah, and I would just introduce her to the old rubbers in a box. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? The safest
Mhm.
thing that you can do, and make sure, like, get her to practice on a banana if you have to,
Yeah.
but make sure she's trained in how to use them. And then all you can do is step back and let her be responsible for her own choices.
Yeah.
But I think this helps you open up that conversation more, right?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Yeah.
And it also, she's like, and not just that, but it also helps you realize that you're able to see and feel around you, more of what's going on around you.
Yeah, because that was the weirdest thing to me. I was like, why would I dream that? And then you tell me that you did that last night, and I dreamt it. I'm like, that's so weird.
That's
Yeah.
my life. That is
Yeah.
my life. I'll know things the night before, and then the next day, like, I'm hearing this little light of mine all freaking day.
Yeah.
And then, like, what happened with Amanda? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly how it works. It's
Mhm.
preparation, but it's also you are tapping into a field of energy that you are now understanding how to interpret. Your brain is understanding how to interpret this. Maybe
Mhm.
not in your conscious life, but in your
Right.
subconscious, it gets it right away.
Right. Yeah.
And so it lets you know. The more you practice this, the bigger that becomes.
Mhm.
Wait till your husband, like, goes on and personal experience. Ex-husband who used to go on and sneak porn in the middle of the night, and I would
Mhm.
get up the next day and be like, I know, and then try having them go, no, you don't, you have no right to know, you can't know, you weren't there, you don't know. And it's like,
Yeah.
I know, and have
Yeah.
a conversation. Too funny. You're gonna have to come to one of my open mic nights and see what you can really do.
I will.
those-
You know it. You know it. I'm there.
I think it's a perfect plan, because what I'm going to do is have people, they're going to be a small group of 21 people, and then they're going to break into groups of 3, so that you can have one person reading, the other person receiving, and one person recording, and then we switch.
Yeah. No, I think that would be awesome.
Practice with looking at pictures, practice doing the one where I can't remember the name of it, where you feel the energy off of it. I do that all the time.
Mhm.
Different types of using your gift, stuff like that. It's going to be so fun. I'm going to have a
Yeah,
lot of
I'm
people.
going to be there, and I'm going to be in Calgary a lot because that's where Helene is going to be. So
Yay!
yeah.
Awesome. Well, good luck on your move. I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited for you.
Thank you.
And breathe.
Good luck
Remember
on
to
your
breathe.
center. I'm excited for you too.
Yay! Well, watch for the announcements. I'll put them up
I will.
I'm thinking open mic night is going to be on Friday the 27th, and then depending on the interest level, we might have them every week, every Friday. And then afternoon with Spirit, we're just going to start with the once a month like we used to have, because I have to up the price a little bit. There's only 30
Yeah.
people, so it's going to be $50 a person instead of 30.
Yep.
But that's still reasonable. And then
Oh,
we'll
for
see.
sure.
At least one of those a month, and probably 3 or 4 open mic nights. So,
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
all right. Well, have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you, Tracy.
All right. Bye. Bye, Amanda.